Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for our deciding game number 3. It's Mineski taking on TNC, and we're not going to waste any time here looking at, well, his pretty face. We're just going to hop right into the draft. As it has begun, the teams are going pretty quickly, GoDz.
Boom, the Leshrac is back, and TNC get it up their sleeves once more. So Mineski willing to give it away. They did this in game 1. Didn't go too well, but we'll see what they have in store.
Yeah, the Darkseer getting some love here, too. A first phase pick. Normally more of a third, fourth pick, it feels like.
Yep.
They grab it nice and early here. Even banning out the Phoenix from TNC, who have a very strong, both teams, pretty strong laning stage here, especially these first 2 TNC picks.
I think with like a Phoenix, like you're just looking at like huge team fight face rush with a Spirit Breaker, Lesh, Phoenix. We kind of saw what the Leshrac did even on the support role back in game 1, and like Phoenix with a Spirit, like charge in, dive in, throw a Supernova. Good luck fighting that. So they also don't have good heroes for bringing down the Supernova. Jaro's like the best of the 3 so far. But
do you think we'll see a core Leshrac this game, or still too early to tell?
I feel like Leshrac's better on the core role, but I don't know TNC well enough to really say right now.
Yeah, they are at least to us a new roster, as we were.
Yeah,
that's the thing with TI is like you only cast those like top 20 teams or so for like a month and a half, 2 months. You study the crap out of them. They all change rosters. And then as a commentator, it's like, oh, what have all the, tier 1.5, tier 2 teams been doing? They've all reshuffled. They've been playing like smaller tournaments in the interim, but
yep.
I feel very out of touch. I'm trying to get back into it now.
I mean, even TNC actually had a roster change only about a couple weeks ago, so
making it even more interesting for us, that's for sure.
And even in this series, they're changing roles. Noji playing support, playing
I'm liking
carry.
them, though. I think they have some real potential here, and I feel like they have good team play, which is something that generally is lacking, let's be honest, in most SEA teams, and especially in a lot of the Pinoy teams, where they're all kind of sometimes it feels like they're all trying to be like the Michael Jordan of the team, and you got to have a role player. You have to have a Scottie Pippen to go with him, or a Dennis Rodman who just well, I mean, he was a bit of a hot dog, but at least he got the rebounds for the team.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if you made. I was casting with Windchild, just someone I assume but are you the guy drafting and picking for them? That's the guy from Dota 1 who used to play techies. Nico? That's him, so.
He's the techie specialist. Why aren't they picking it?
I don't know. It's no longer his thing, I guess. He's moved on to more sophisticated things.
It was like a big deciding match at the LAN, right? And they just randomly busted him out as their stand-in.
Yep. And then, like, the rest of the tournament was just getting, like, banned against them. It was like, no techies for you.
Rip.
And he ended up... I think they switched him to support when they stopped getting techies as well. It's like, okay, you're not getting your mid-techies. We're gonna put you on support. But
it will be a Lion pickup here for Mineski. We see him as I guess, just a counter to the Ember. Is that the main Lion reasoning here?
Pretty good. But 2 spells that can cancel the Spirit Breaker charge. As well, which is handy to have, of course. And as far as like Dazzle, Darkseer go, they didn't actually have much damage output or burst damage, so I think getting a support with some kill potential helps them out, so they can at least get that insta pick off in a team fight.
Queen of Pain now grabbed up by TNC. Hero that's been less popular as of late. Sometimes it's like if there's nothing else that you want, teams will grab it, but it's not that go-to every game kind of pick anymore.
I'm just surprised Mineski weren't interested in picking up Lina.
I'm surprised anyone's not interested in picking up Lina. That is my jam in pubs, man. Lina is a game-winning hero. She does it all. She ganks, she counters BKBs, she forces out BKBs, she farms fast. She has a great laning stage, can carry 1v5, can also team fight pretty well, and she's fun. Lina's just a fun hero to play. Nothing like seeing a hero that's like 3/4 HP, you zap them, they just die. Or if you're ahead of supports, just one-shotting them. Oh,
I was playing Lina quite a bit, like in my pubs and stuff, and I didn't even realize I was losing as many games as I was with Lina because I would just always have fun. So I'm like, oh, I'll just go play Lina again. And then I looked at my last, like I was on my Dota buff, and I'd played 9 games of Lina and only won 1 of my 9 games as Lina.
But you had fun in all 9.
Yeah, I know. If someone had asked me, like, oh, what was your win rate with Lina in your 9 games? I would be like, oh, probably about 50-50, like, I feel like I lost a few, but nope. I won 1 game. That was a game I barely
maybe
won.
I guess the moral of the story then is you need to have less fun, David, when you're pubbing.
Yeah, pick more PLAM.
Yeah. If you are smiling more than 20% of the time when you're pubbing, then it's not the hero for you.
Yeah.
You must be slightly miserable to succeed in pubs.
Yeah, Arteezy way, I'm sure. He's never having fun in pubs. He's based on watching his stream.
He's got a stressful life, man. Well, he makes it stressful as well. With some of us all chatting shenanigans. All right, 5th ban now.
Surely we ban Lina here. Like,
they need that mid too. I mean, is there even a debate? Who else?
Are they
is there?
worried about Spirit
Shadow
Breaker's
Fiend?
Queen of Pain just shutting down Lina? I don't think you are. I think Lina for sure is the hero.
They're really taking their time on this.
But yeah, Shadow Fiend would probably be the other option.
They're not great at Ro8 right now, TNC. Or, well, I guess, sorry, we're looking at what Mineski would want. Also not particularly great, but very sustainable.
Yeah, so TNC, imagine we're looking at, well, it's hard to even say for TNC, because Spirit Breaker can fill in that support role if they want.
Huh. That's a kind of weird pick. Or weird ban out.
Yeah.
Rupture is pretty useless against Quap. You can always just blink, and if you move like 1 unit, you don't get damage, which is... I've never really seen a Quap who's F-decent get damaged by Rupture. Ember's immune when he's remnanting about. It is pretty strong with the vacuum.
10 seconds remaining.
Yes.
It's kind of a curious ban out, though.
Yeah. As I think about it, I guess TNC are very face rush, and that's something where Lina can struggle a bit. Ember kind of mobile, can dodge.
Ah, Mineski watching a little Fnatic Dota. We saw Black pick this up, and great series there actually right now in the ESL 1 qualifiers, going the distance. And actually, Fnatic have picked Medusa again, twice now.
So if you're watching that like, oh, they picked Medusa, I don't want to watch this, it's boring, let's go watch BTS. Oh, you got yourself Medusa here as well. If you love Medusa, get your multi-twitches
Get fucked,
up.
Medusa haters.
Yeah. You guys can go watch Ro8 stream or something instead. I don't think he's streaming though.
No, he actually sleeps once in a while.
5 seconds.
Growing boy.
So TNC last pick.
Well, support Spirit Breaker potentially if they
Yeah,
want to run the core Lesh, but Elsid's an offlane Spirit Breaker.
I'm trying to think, like, are there any ways to fit in like a mana burn to deal with the Medusa, but it'd be kind of tricky. You could put Quap off lane, Ember mid, and like pick up an AM, but it's, like your lanes are a bit sketchy, I'd say, in that situation.
Yeah, traditionally the Medusa counter is either mana burn. I mean, they could go. I feel like they could go PL Ember Quap. It's not great though.
Well, I like this pick though. I think they go a bit greedy. They're not going to look to contest the offlane. They're just going to put the tanky Spirit Breaker there and just get a greedy last pick. Midnight Pulse is just great damage output onto tanky heroes.
There's very little to cancel Black Hole Gods.
Yeah. The way the math works on Midnight Pulses, I think it's actually ridiculously good against Medusa, because a lot of the damage is going into the mana shield, so because it's percent based, it continually does like high damage over time and burns the mana shield quicker in theory. That should be how it works.
Well, you mean because she's not losing as much HP?
Well, I actually know. Well, regardless of how much HP you're on, it's still doing the same amount of damage. But like Medusa, just generally tanky. So
yeah, it's good against her because she's a tank, I guess, more so than because of the mana shield aspect of it. Well, it's just really high damage in general with the fact that it's pure.
And Medusa likely just to be kind of standing still and sitting and tanking Midnight Pulse damage.
Medusa Gyro Darkseer. It's a lot of emphasis on this big spread damage AoE, but I feel a little bit lacking on the single target. I've only really got the Lion for that. You're up against a Quap. Pretty mobile hero.
Yeah, their pickup potential is somewhat lacking. And like Lion getting a blink is going to be important for Mineski this game.
And that's a 5-position Lion, 4-position Lion. So
yeah, I imagine they give more farm to Rio than Jesse Vash this game, but I do like that it's very magic damage focused. You're against a Dazzle, Weave, got Shadow Wave. You want all this magic damage to come out, which is the Midnight Pulse, the Leshrac, Queen of Pain. S takes the Queen of Pain, so it could be a support Queen of Pain.
It's too good, often says the blinking Venomancer. He wants it to be a thing. It's definitely not a thing, but
the Quap support?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's good. I like it. It's one of my favorites. It's my favorite support here to play, I think.
It's fun. It's nice having a blink as a
It's
support.
like the Lina where you lose, but you have fun. Is that what it is? I need to check my Dota buff of my support Queen of Pain win rate and see like 10%.
It feels like the few times I've seen it, it feels like it can be really good if you get like that early kill, you get a quick level 2 or 3. But even the games where the Quap starts off doing well, it's like after the first 5 to 10 minutes, it's like you just have this underfarmed hero that has an okay AoE nuke, but she kind of has to be in the middle of the fight to scream. And you normally go for the Shadow Strike build, so you don't even max scream quickly. I don't know.
Think it's one of those.
I feel like her laning stage is pretty good, but then she falls off.
I think vice versa, though. You could argue that even if like you apply a lot of pressure in the early game lane stage, but even if you don't find kills or get much done, you have a really good teamfight ultimate to fall back on. That's pure damage. So
that's true, and it is pure damage regardless. It's not like the Lina where you have to farm the eggs.
Yeah, and like just having a blinking Venomancer, like even in the mid game, can be very potent if you blink into the right position, get a key slow on someone like a Medusa, just to kind of prevent her from getting a lot of damage output in a fight. But
that's all she gives you though, is just damage, and that's where you want, if you're going to go for that, you definitely want cores with some control and lockdown, which they definitely have here. They have actually all 4 heroes besides the Quap, so
they've got plenty.
I think if it is a support Quap, it could definitely work this game.
Yes. We'll have to wait and see, because they've been swapping up roles, so we don't really...
It's probably not, to be honest.
Lucky was on the Leshrac. He's now swapped to the Enigma, too, so they're not even done swapping yet.
Noji is going farming build here. He's got the Rain of Protection, so safe lane Lesh. It will be Raven on the Ember. Looks like he's going solo mid. Lucky is the jungle Enigma. That's a 5-position AU Spirit Breaker, it seems, and S will be not a support, but an off-lane Queen of Pain.
Yeah. So Lucky game 1 was playing core, but he's been playing, support 2 games in a row.
He got benched. They won that game, so I'm not sure why, but...
Yeah, it was Noji. Well, Noji was like a pseudo-support Lesh. He kind of transitioned into a core in a lot of ways, but...
over on the side of Mineski, Ryo handling your Lion. 4 heroes going towards top. Cuckoo on the Gyrocopter. Jesse Vash, as you mentioned, the very hard support Dazzle here. Trolley on the Medusa, also known as Bimbo or Jay. And Jules, he started safe lane, got the ward down as the Darkseer. They're not really getting all the way into this dire jungle gods, but they are getting a little bit of vision towards the pull camp here.
Yeah, and pull camp block and lane ward. So they've ward vision's very limited right now as far as the river and mid lane goes. Well,
they're getting in they're moving in a bit deeper here. And they may find AU. He's got the charge, and he charges down into the river onto Jules. Nice. Well done to escape that.
They know it's warded now, but it's worth it to not give up the first blood. And there's no sentries anyway, so that ward's not going to be dewarded anytime soon.
Jesse Vash does have 180 gold if he wants to rush the sentries out.
The battle begins.
And we'll still have to wait a bit.
Oh, and the Dazzle. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably is worth it just to deward the river ward, take away the rune vision, and but we'll see. So it looks like aggro tri-lane is what's coming out of Mineski. They're going to send Darkseer to the safe lane, 1v1 against Quap. So Quap.
You say oh, okay. I was going to say if the Deuce is here now, but it's Deuce mid. So yeah. It's pretty aggro.
Yeah, Ember versus Dusa isn't the easiest of lanes for Dusa. Ember will get a decent time on bottle and just be able to put a lot of pressure on the Dusa, I feel, using the Flame Guard.
Yeah, the Mystic Snake, not that much damage. I don't think one's enough to break the Flame Guard, even if it bounces once it's level 2 and 3 usually.
Yeah. Level 2 is... Like
level 2 maybe, but level 3 or 4 almost definitely not.
Yeah. And level 2 Flame Guard's only like a level 2 Mystic Snake as well, so you're always fighting kind of a losing battle in some ways.
Yeah, maybe if it's the last bounce, it's just enough then.
Yeah. But I'd say it would probably be about an even matchup on farm, but it'll be Ember applying pressure and looking to zone out the Medusa, go for kills.
Uh-oh, Ryo just trading blows here. Has the Hex available, but Jesse Vash is down in the river.
Oh, it's a lot of creeps hitting him too.
Noji just basically 1v3 almost, it feels like. The other supports are off in the woods right now, and well, he's not getting a ton of farm here, but he's still proving a nuisance.
Yeah. Spirit Breaker leeching XP. He wants to get that 17% coming into play.
Yeah, we'll have it fairly soon, but Lucky is being slowed down by this. That's the trade-off. And I'm curious to see, does he get the Midnight Pulse? Because it feels like a lot of the SEA Enigma is just always opt for the Malefice build, for now holding that skill point. And as you've brought up, it really does slow down your farm a lot not having it, especially on the Dire side.
Yeah, this jungle is just built for the Enigma here, but we'll see. He's stacking now. He's doing all the little things right. And
they did get the D-ward, by the way.
Okay. Okay, looks like, Dazzle handled that one. So just makes it a little bit hard to contest this lane. You don't know when the supports are rotating into your jungle like they're doing now, unless you've got heroes there to scout them, as Spirit Breaker does. But Mineski going to even take some of this jungle away from TNC, it looks like.
Very aggressive movements here, but this is giving the Leshrac a bit more freedom. Noji out of mana, though. He's going to run right into Ryo. Only has the Hex available, and gets a single little plink off on the auto attack.
And this is where both supports and Mineski are level 1 still, and even Gyro. Actually, Gyro's got a lot of XP.
Oh, Raven with the chains. Yeah, I mean, they're getting levels in the jungle. Like, sure, Mineski run in and are annoying, but they don't actually convert that into a kill, GoDz.
Yep. Charge coming top lane now. Ryo could be in a lot of trouble. This is a level 1 line. He's got no Hex, nothing to cancel the charge
no
with.
Grave either. Oh, this is bad. Ryo, immediate bash, insta-kill. Noji getting the last hit. May die to the flat cannon of Cuckoo. Perhaps it's going to be close. Gets in range for the Rocket Barrage. We'll clean up the Lesh. So, an under-leveled support for a Leshrac, but the first blood does go the way here of the Dire squad.
Yeah, it's the boots advantage there, and that's at least a 1-for-1. But first blood taken by the Spirit Breaker. Would have preferred it to go to the Leshrac, then he could have maybe bought his boots before dying, but at least getting a first blood, and this is just giving Enigma a bit more room to get farm in the jungle as well.
And showed creep bottom lane. So bottom lane, GoDz, safe lane, Darkseer. Doing quite well so far, 17-0. Quap also farming very well.
I think they're just pretty even matchup in general. Like Quap, if you really want to try bully the Darkseer, you can go for like a max Shadow Strike build, but then you're so weak later on. Once if fights start happening, you can't do anything with this build. So this is the better and more safe build to go for.
Jules, it looks like he needs to run the other way here. There's the scream. He's going to surge forward, bottling up. S is trying to tank this just to get his Ember in position. Will blink out. And Raven's almost got the range here. Boots are up. Surge cooling down. 10 stick charges, though. Just sleight of fist. Even skilled up and will be enough for the kill there. Just barely able to take him down, but does kill off a very high-level Darkseer here.
He was saving his level 5 skill point, too. That was really nice play from him. Like he's like, okay, Flame Guard's probably more useful in the mid lane, but let's just wait till an opportunity arises where I'll use it. And well, Sleight of Fist gets you a kill, so you take it there.
Rotating Raven back. They gave the lane to AU2000 for a little while, and Bimbo certainly enjoying the free farm here. Cracks level 6. Just get a point in the spell shield. Not seeing any stacking yet so far for either team, really, it looks like. Just it's like the most static laning stage I feel like I've seen in a while. Like a slight rotation towards the bottom rune, a little poking in the Dire jungle, but
both mid and bottom as 1v1 matchups are like farm fest 1v1s where you shouldn't see kills happen for the most part. Like Dusa, Ember especially. Queen of Pain Darkseer is kind of a farm versus farm matchup. I was just about to say, Gyro at top is in a really bad spot because Quap just hit 6, is healing up, and I was expecting Quap to TP top and go for a Gyro kill, but Gyro's already rotated bottom where he's a bit safer because if Quap comes down, it's presumably just one hero, but Spirit Breaker nearby as well, and they will go looking for Cuckoo here, although he does feel a bit safe for the lane ward.
Yeah, they don't have that lane ward top, which is where I think it goes to your point. The top lane is just more dangerous with a potential TP gank.
Still could be in some trouble. Spirit Breaker's kind of ventured up towards the top lane, but you catch sight of Cuckoo and you may consider going for a kill.
Well, they're going to send Jules to the hard lane now, but he's got Bottle. He's level 5. Should be okay here, most likely. And elsewhere, S driving by through the trees. The lane ward ends in the Radiant safe lane, and looks like it's going to be a waiting game for the 6-minute rune. Only a level 2 Flame Guard, though. Not the best time for Raven to fight.
Yeah, and S has Sonic Wave. It looks like he's going to swing mid rather than get rotations towards the bottom lane. He's going to go look for that kill on Medusa.
Do they have any TPs here? There's one up on Jussie
Vash.
Vash.
Take the stacks. Just a triple stack, but...
Oh, that's pretty big, though. Pretty nice.
Absolutely.
This is going to be tough, though. Raven is taking a lot of... That's the regen room, but he's so low. Jussie Vash is nearby. This could end poorly, GoDz.
He's headed right towards the camp. I think maybe guessing what's happening here.
Yeah, this is
Dusa
some Spidey senses.
I mean, Dusa's not a hero that's going to rotate and cause problems anyway. So.
Does get eyes on him, but Raven now bottling up the regen rune and will just jump away back to the Remnant while S blinks out. So they still clean up most of the stack. Mineski salvaging their farm.
Yep. Not the end of the world. Regen rune gets popped, so Raven won't really have his farm slowed down too much. Yeah, pretty kind of farm-centric opening from both teams. Offlaners getting experience. You've got Darkseer up to level 6, so I mean, he was kind of a safe laner anyways. And just because everyone had like a 1v1 matchup or like very even kind of matchups in lane, it means that everyone's got experience here. The supports, the lowest level you see is level 3. All the cores are at least level 5. Level 5, level 6. So there's no heroes like offlaners getting sacrificed this game.
Queen of Pain bullying supports, forcing the rotations now. Some active movement from S. He looks to go on Cuckoo, but he's low on mana here. And actually the Rocket Barrage almost finished him off. Very slow on the blink out. We'll have to go home. Tanks the full brunt of that.
And as slow as it's been so far, because everyone has tons of experience, that's going to change soon. You've got like Lestrak, who's level 7. You've got Enigma, who's just hit 6, has a Black Hole coming to play. These heroes have a lot of firepower once they get levels. I mean, some of the supports like Lion having level 6 could really add to that, but just having these like Sonic Wave, Ember Spirit level 7, Spirit Breaker level 5, Black Hole in play means kills will be coming soon, and group up and fights are going to start happening soon as well.
That was a bit of stacking from Trolly, but the charge is going top. Oh, AU. AU. Not ideal here. They can Remnant to break the trees, you know. Not what Raven was looking to do, but he'll get his buddy out.
It's unfortunate. Spirit Breaker probably just going to look for his level 6 maybe somewhere on the map. He doesn't have mana for a charge, in fact, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but...
Yeah, I guess we'll probably get the Urn next, most likely.
Yeah, I think Urn sounds good. Someone should probably look to get it. Unless he feels like he can just go for like a greedy Midas, but he hasn't picked up a Gloves of Haste or anything along those lines.
Just such a slow game. 3 kills at 9 minutes, and I feel like every game up until now in this SEA, not qualifier, this SEA Cup has been super action-packed early on.
It seems like they're getting tense, like they're... Like, you've got Enigma camping behind the quad bottom, expecting a dive there, it looks like, because, like, I think Queen of Pain was trying to bait the line into a Hex Impale, then Enigma just comes out with a hole ready, but...
They have the Hex. Ryu should be able to get it off here. Just barely does. Call down coming through. Needs to stun quickly. Gets it off with the Rocket Barrage. S still able to blink away.
Wow.
The Power Treads, the Magic Wand coming in handy there.
Oh, level 2. Oh, gosh. These low-level supports, it's the core's getting experience, but... Importantly had Strength Treads there. Without that, that's a dead Queen of Pain.
Yeah, even the stick charge is helping out a little bit as he blinked away. And we'll survive now, and still waiting for these first early movements, gods. But while we do, I mean, you mentioned it, the supports are really struggling, and it's the vast majority of the differential here. The 3 positions basically even, but Enigma, I mean, by himself, his net worth is more than both of the other supports, and in fact, so too is the Spirit Breaker. So everybody on TNC getting farm and staying relevant.
Oh, yeah.
For Mineski, it's just very top-heavy.
Yep. TNC going to have both supports level 6 with decent farm. On the Radiant side, Lion only just now hits level 4, Dazzle's level 4, and neither is farm. So it's... Mineski have 2 clear supports, and on the TNC side, their supports are like utility heroes / semi-cores in some ways.
How concerned are you if you're Mineski? Is this okay, or is this like a massive issue that needs to be addressed?
And they've got Dusa. I just don't feel like the Mineski teamfight is scary enough that they're actually okay in this position. They've got the vacuum kind of cooldown with a Stone Gaze, but to me, TNC can deal with that. They've got the Fire Remnant to escape it. They can charge out. They can heal off a lot of the damage using an early timing on an Enigma mech, which you imagine is going to come. So
what's the adjustment then? If you're not happy with the way the game's going, what do you do?
Gyro Lion got to get active. That was a smoke play where they tried to kill the offlane Queen of Pain. That's the right kind of idea, and I think they need to group up with the Darkseer as well, because Darkseer with level 4 Iron Shell can do a lot of damage as well. So maybe have these 3 to 4 heroes group up while the Medusa farms, play more of 4 Protect 1 style.
Look at this punishing movements now. Queen of Pain baiting a bit bottom lane, but the real action is over in the pit. Just 1,000 units or so away here. You're taking the Roshan quite a bit. Idolines will start splitting now, and this gets a bit easier.
Oh, he didn't
well, that's a fail. Yep. Also didn't get the medallion out again very quickly there, so.
Yeah, he needed them to split, and I didn't think they were going to split. They split right before they wore off, so he got a chance to. But
it looked like he wasn't expecting them to.
Yeah.
That attack speed slow from the clap, making things a bit tougher.
So they group up, push down to tier 1. This is, I think, a good move. Mineski are good at sieging towers. They can't really force fights easily because of just Medusa not really being a hero that... It's a hero that you avoid for the most part. When she's tanky, you can't kill her. But they can actually push around the Medusa. Drums, Face Boots, Aquila. This Medusa's very tanky right now and a great kind of front line to have if you want to push down tier 1. So
I remember when Secret, after TI4, when they first formed, they were running that Kuroki Medusa, and they'd just like... It'd just be like a siege tank, just slowly rolling down the middle lane. Jules will grab a rune here. Raven was trying to chain him and prevent it, but a bit too slow there. Couldn't get in range. And Mineski, with that sequence of events, I mean, the tower going down and just the fact that TNC wastes a lot of time and some resources, we've managed to close the gap a bit here.
But yeah, 1,500 gold swing just by
nothing happening for TNC.
Yeah. Failed Ro8 and not getting a tower trade for your bottom tier 1. So yeah.
Here comes the charge, but the timing might be right for Justy Vash to turn this AU 2000. He's very committed. No, he's in really deep now. Tanky to full duration rocket barrage as well as the call down 1 and just gets out of it. Doesn't matter. Second rocket barrage finishes him off, and TNC, it's like their action, like being active is ultimately backfiring here for them more than just farming, it seems.
The farming was working for him, but the warding from Mineski, just good defensive wards, nothing crazy, just like standard lane wards, which as a Spirit Breaker you kind of got to expect to be there, but it hasn't worked for them. Ember Spirit's going to get on the move. I think for TNC, he's going to be the kind of key component to turn things around for them a lot here.
Yeah, Jules is definitely killable at this point. No mech completion. A lot of regen items here, but they're not going to help him when he's constantly taking damage over time. Noji runs in, and yeah, by the way, there's a Leshrac in this game. He's hit level 11 at 13 minutes, so getting a lot of experience top.
Yeah, he's the most farmed TNC hero, and that's always something you've got to be concerned about when this Bloodstone timing is going to be probably is just 1,100 gold away. Just needs the Vitality booster money on top of what he's already got, which can buy the Bloodstone recipe.
Yeah, he's got the soul booster now, more or less. 1,000 gold short, or 100 gold short rather.
Yep.
1,000. Math is hard. Math is hard.
1,000 gold short of the full Bloodstone.
Yes,
that's what you're trying to say.
No, that wasn't what I was trying to say. It was just because I said soul booster. But thank you for the attempted bailout. I do appreciate it. No G. Oh, this could be trouble for him. He's being chased out, but from the rear is coming the Ember Spirit, looking for the backstab. Call down will connect, securing the first kill, but the rotation is there and heavy commitment. Everything just for Cuckoo. Not really that worth it, though. A 2-for-1. Both cores getting dropped.
Oh, boy.
Ember getting picked off, and now Spirit Breaker continues the chase. There's your bash. They needed it. Justy Vash almost got the grave. He was just about to cast it there. Ends up salvaging the fight a bit. 2 for 2, but TNC losing both of their key cores here.
Yeah, and
committing everything.
That's a kind of gyro exchange you're totally okay with, because Gyro's not even their main carry this game. He's going to be kind of more of a tempo controller while the Medusa farms. So completely fine trade from Mineski. You've got Leshrac, who's still looking good, who was looking really good, but who needs to be shut down. So Gyro dying to kill the Lesh, and also the Ember dying with Lion going in. Great exchanges. TNC want to fight now, though. With Finger down, that's kind of a good time for them where their cores are very safe because they don't have that damage output. And I think Black Hole being on cooldown isn't the biggest deal for them. Like
you say they want to fight, but Lucky's gone for a Midas, so I'm not sure how keen he is on fighting right now. What do you think of the Midas Enigma gods?
I used to really dislike this. It's kind of grown on me a lot because Enigma does benefit a lot from having all of his spells max. Malefice is much better at level 4.
Level 1 Malefice is just awful.
Yeah, so this is a hero who really wants all of his basic spells max. Leveling up the black holes kind of doesn't really matter too much. But he does benefit a lot from the levels.
Oh no, G. Again, just getting clipped by that. There's the stun. Prevents the Split Earth from guys. Then the Hex. Ryo making a lot of things happen here. Oh, Cuckoo. He thought he had him. The last flak shot will get the job done, but now he's had to extend a bit further than he might have liked. Does have 17 stick charges, can pop them now, baiting as best he can, but Quap with the blink in, gets him with the damage over time, and that propeller will crash down to Earth. Ember's rotating, has the haste rune.
Died mid to this very Ember, so
got dove a bit. There's the charge, they get vision. Raven could commit for this, there's the initial jump in. Didn't pop his Flame Guard though, he's rather squishy right now. Back into the wall, now the Flame Guard comes out, should keep him bit healthier here. Jumping to the Remnant, now wanting to retreat. He's got one more Remnant. Needs to make this count. Drums getting popped, and then the Surge onto Trolley as they continue to dive elsewhere. Spirit Breaker just going way deep behind enemy lines. Ryo, no mana for the stun. Won't be able to get anything off. Drops a ward. Continues to scramble and retreat. Will get out safely. Now things start to heat up. 5-8 the score.
I feel like Lucky with a mech first could have just kept the Leshrac alive both times he died. That's where the mech to me would be a much better item here. It's hard for him to know because he's thinking like the levels and the late game farm is going to maybe be more the way to go, especially with playing against Medusa. We're not going to end this anytime soon. We want to farm more towards the late game, and you're on a hero that can benefit a lot from late game items. BKB, Blink, Refresher, Ag Scepters, whatever it may be, so...
And they don't... This is one of those rare games as of late where there's not many ways to cancel a black hole.
Yeah.
Especially the BKB. You just have Stone Gaze, right? I think that's it.
But that second death Lesh where he just died recently was very avoidable. If Enigma has a mech,
oh, Raven doesn't have the Flame Guard. Barely makes it out. Homie Missile will follow him, but he will just TP home before this thing gets in range. Does give Mineski position under the tower. And with that, GoDz, Cuckoo moving around a lot more. It feels like that was one of the issues for Mineski in the first 2 games, that Cuckoo wasn't always able to get too involved, especially game 1, but he's been very active around the map here.
Bimbo is so farm, by the way. 8.5k net worth. He gets the T1 tower now.
Noji at least trying to equalize the score with the tower of TNC zone, but yeah, Bimbo is... He's on top. He was ancient stacking. He cleared... They salvaged that early big camp stack. He's been just farming away.
Yeah, it's just very efficient. Like, even going from the mid-tier 1 to the dire ancients, then he's going to go to his own jungle. Actually leaves one ancient behind.
Poor Jules. He really wants to complete his mech here. He's only 25 gold short. Not going to happen. Be delayed another 300 or so. Will end up going down.
Yeah, I think Mineski is actually, for the most part, okay with their current position just because of how farm the Medusa is. They'll probably look to hit a timing where Medusa completes Skadi and they just kind of 5-man around Gyro, who also has a BKB. So Medusa in the front, Gyro slightly behind, ready with the cooldown, Rocket Barrage combo damage. And for TNC, it's much more about the chaos and the team fight where they have the Black Hole, Sonic Wave, all this big combo.
They got the cow running around.
Yeah, Cow and Ember Spirit both do a kind of similar thing where they're just running in, forcing they force the supports to engage and put themselves in positions they don't want to be. Because if you're a Lion or a Dazzle, you wouldn't be standing way, way back, but these are heroes that kind of force you to go in or even just bypass the frontliners and get to the heroes like the Dazzle. If you can get on the Dazzle, 640 HP Dazzle, very quickly Grave will be forced out. All that takes is like 1 Searing Chains with some Flame Guard damage and Dazzle has to self-grave.
And then it's not the core getting graved either.
Yeah. And then you're just... I mean, Medusa's maybe poking away at you a little bit during that time, but that's kind of acceptable exchange.
Elsewhere, we do see S on the offlane Quap. Completed Orchid at 20 minutes.
Wow. Considering
He's been very active in offlane, this is a pretty good timing.
That's actually a great item, especially this game, because you just blink in and Orchid the Lion, and what do? All they can grave the Lion to keep him alive, but there's no one else who can disable you and kill you. And there's just the Darkseer Vacuum, but they don't have any... Like, unless you get Vacuum, Call Down, Rocket Barrage, you can just blink in, and you can just position your blink such that you're not near the Gyrocopter and just take out the Lion at the start of a fight. So this Queen of Pain Orchid is going to really be nice there.
Man, that's just feeling confident with the Orchid pickup. Getting aggressive. The lane war top gives him all the vision he needs. He knows that Mineski are grouping, but... What TNC don't know is that Ryo has just completed a Blink Dagger 20 minutes in. He has found the farm necessary, and this gives them some lockdown, some control. Jules chasing on the mid lane, wanted Noji, but the TP's just going to take a bit too long. In fact, 3 heroes coming back. While 2 stay top, blinking from Lucky, looking for the Black Hole. He got all 3, Ember over the top. There's the quick AoE combination, and everybody will drop to that. Lucky surviving elsewhere. Spirit Breaker going in onto Trolley, but this might be in a bit too far for him. Does try for the TP out. The Courier gets Stone Gazed. It can't deliver his items. It ends up going down. Didn't even realize it could get Stone Gazed. You learn something new every day, but well, that costs him. He will end up going down.
That was a sick Black Hole. That's like the Lion with Blink Dagger. He kind of blinked in, and Enigma just reacted to it. So if Lion waited a bit longer, but I think the blink caught him by surprise. I don't think they'd maybe seen it yet.
He blinked in, he dropped, he even got the Midnight Pulse off there, and then and like it was like a stutter step before he even Black Holed, but yeah, it totally caught them off guard.
Lion just couldn't prevent it, and Next Lucky makes a big play there.
Roach is the thing TNC is looking for now, and the objective shall be claimed. Leshrac, I imagine the one to grab this here.
Yep. I imagine so. He actually didn't disassemble his Arcane Boots to make the Bloodstone.
Ember Spirit, that's a bit different.
Yeah, both good, but I think the Lesh is a little more squishy and doesn't have the escape spell, so could kind of lean that direction, but Ember's been a very key hero for this team. And Raven, I think, just as a player, has been very sensational in the mid lane.
Is there any reason to not disassemble here? Because normally we see Leshes want their
Lesh?
BOTs.
Not really, I'd say. The Arcane Boots for the team.
I guess you can, build your Octarine core eventually, but that's much later on.
Yeah, that's much later on. Like Brown Boots versus Arcane Boots, they both give the same... 5 extra movement speed, but that's minimal. You don't have mana problems onto your Bloodstone, so it's purely to help out teammates like Spirit Break who have a small mana pool, and that's really about it. Enigma could potentially have mana problems, but also has Arcane Boots, so... I don't think there's really any reason. Maybe it was just something he didn't think about, but...
Inexcusable. That's the moral here.
90% of the time you're going to want to disassemble just because you get the faster Bloodstone.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is it was a bit of a late Bloodstone. But it came online at the right time, synced up with the Enigma Blink, and well, he's got 11 charges, so off to a good start. Still, the man on top is Mr. Bimbo. Trolley sitting pretty at 11.5k net worth, and he is the driving force here.
Yeah, this is the Skadi timing where they're just kind of 5-manning with his Skadi and the Gyro BKB.
Can TNC fight this? No black hole right now.
Not really. They need vision is the main thing, because if they can't get onto the supports, they can't fight it.
Noji getting caught by the initial blink, but Quap turns. Beautiful ultimate. Combo burning a lot of heroes low. Prevents the Lion from doing anything in this fight. Still, though, the Queen of Pain will die, and Raven now in the thick of it. Needs to Remnant back. Spirit Breaker charging in. Gets off the chains on Jules. Ayu, though, taking a lot of Rocket Barrage damage. He nether strikes his way back towards Freedom. Jules! Oh, barely surviving. Now Noji in. They look to isolate Cuckoo. May end up going down here. Gets caught by the chains. Clipped by a nuke. And down he goes. Ayu making an excellent escape there. Causing, you said it, chaos in the fight. So, oh, they almost got another. Barely able to TP the Dazzle home.
I don't think TNC had a good way of defending that Tier 2 tower taking the fight. I was just about to say, because they can't get vision of the supports, but Lion just blinked in and gave them the vision they needed to punish him and kill him. Like, he gets 1 kill out of it, but once he gets taken out of the fight and Mineski are forced to commit their backliners, like the Darkseer as well, it just gives TNC all the information they need to send in heroes like the Leshrac and the Ember Spirit without having to worry about these heroes getting taken out by the Lion, and kind of can guarantee Queen of Pain gets an Orchid off on the Lion as well. So
making their lives easier.
Yeah, I feel like Lion wants to sit back and wait for TNC to engage. He shouldn't be looking to engage before a fight breaks out, because Medusa can just plonk away at the tower bit by bit and eventually get the tower. You don't have to take fights if you're Mineski. You're just looking to take the buildings, take the infrastructure.
It's not like it's that Mask of Madness void in the front lines. It's a super tanky core.
Oh yeah, this Medusa.
She's meant to take a punishment.
We'll be going Evasion next now with a quarterstaff picked up, it looks like.
Okay. Butterfly on the agenda, but I mean, to your point from earlier, when you looked at the draft, there's a nice mix of damage here. TNC are not fully committed to like physical damage by any means. Speaking of which, they want these Ancients, and Raven taking some damage here from the Dark Copter will be forced back in the end. Cuckoo using the call down to secure their farm. So TNC only stealing a couple there.
Not too bad. Ember, still pretty scary, and still is the Aegis as well. Although not for too much longer, which...
Doesn't seem like they're feeling any urgency here. TNC just content to use this one to farm.
Yeah. Raven will go back and farm his own Ancients. And yeah, they're not in a huge rush. They've got the Midas on Enigma. They've now gone back for the mech. It looks like Greaves will be X-Lucky's next item, so... Enigma, one of those heroes that just scales really well into the late game, too.
I feel like Mineski I feel like they're going to have trouble because later on, if it goes late, if TNC got BKB on Spirit Breaker, there's no counterplay to that.
Yeah.
Like when he BKBs and charges in, what are you going to do? Stone Gaze?
Same for the Leshrac. You BKB and just run in with a Lesh.
Or the Enigma, for that matter. It's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, there'll just be shiny lights everywhere, and people will be dying to Leshrac. Like, that's what happens. That's what the series
the last thing you see before you die. An electric goat.
Yeah. This is where, like, Medusa's a great late game carry, but these days it's heroes like Leshrac who actually dominate the late game in a lot of ways. As much as it's kind of counterintuitive, it's not through physical damage, it's just through sheer control and their survivability and the amount of AoE damage they're dishing out. Like, especially if you can get to the backliners, this Lion and Dazzle still both under 800 HP. These two are just paper for the TNC side.
Ready to be turned into mache at a moment's notice. Noji just continues to push, and I think the good news here for TNC gods is Noji is finally getting some farm, and he's not dying. Ever since he got the Bloodstone, it's like something clicked. He's now got 13 charges, and been getting away with some aggressive pushing. Actually, all 3 cores have really. Well, I say 3. There's 4 at this point.
A lot goes back to the catch just being Rio, which is still decent. Like, you've got a Lion, but anytime he shows himself, he puts him... Like, if he has to blink in, it's always very risky. Unless he knows a hero's alone, for example, which is not really the case with this Queen of Pain at bottom.
Oh, they do see S here. He's in vision. They're blinking it with the Malefice. Charges coming through into the black hole, and it's not going to be canceled at first. Finally, the line comes over the top. The Grave was used. And, well, you're going to run the other direction here. Up to 2k gold. That's going to be hamburger meat. Yeah, even a finger from Ro8. Okay. Level 1 finger. 160-second cooldown there. Flush Strike will just start pushing.
It's not even too bad for TNC, just losing one. The black hole goes on cooldown, but they're playing this farming, slow-paced game, so...
They now rotate the Lion top. No G does have the Bloodstone Deny ready. Is he going to need to use it here? Looks like it, GoDz. He's not getting away from Trolley easily, and just give it up in the end.
I think he could have gone for the Lion kill. There's no finger. He could have killed the Lion and then probably suicided.
Okay. Like, just
start
nuke him. Don't even need the
nuke him and then Pulse Nova. I don't know if he can get Pulse Nova off because of the Skadi slow, but... I'm not sure if he could have, but he could have at least tried, I guess, is what... It seemed like a more logical thing, but...
I've seen so many games where players have the Bloodstone Deny and just try to like push it to the limit and they don't get it off, so yeah. I guess that's the other downside. If you do go for that kill and you're too late.
He's already respawned, he's back to farming right away, so the only place that hurt him was the Bloodstone charges. Didn't give Mineski any boost, didn't really slow down his farm. So
there's the split push game. Again, Ness just applying the pressure here in the bottom lane. He's got his BKB gold if he wants it now. Double damage in the bottle. Lucky joining him for this foray into enemy territory, but there's a 4-hero rotation. Ward not going to scout anything because they're all smoked. Could get caught out here. Jesse Vash, though, not really the best initiator. They need the Lion to get engaged, and he blinks right past the Lion, but into the rest of the enemy team, then back into a call down. The Hex will arrive in time. Securing the kill. He did not buy... Oh, actually, he did buy his BKB, so doesn't really lose anything gold-wise there.
Mineski finding a fair few pickoffs, and Medusa only 1,000 gold away from a Butterfly. If you get a Butterfly and somehow Mineski can secure themselves the next Roshan, they'll just go right down the mid lane, it feels like. Or at least right down one of the 3 lanes.
Surge out from Jules, getting after the Spirit Breaker, who's up to 2,500 gold. What does our count want this game?
Probably complete Solar Crest. Being able to chuck evasion on a teammate is going to be nice when the Medusa comes barreling down mid. Eagle Song, I think?
Oh, yeah. No. That's a costly kill.
Yeah.
Looks like, was Noji the one that got it there? Didn't actually see. Haste. Butterfly delayed. A dream deferred. And Jules is out a bit far here. Lucky's got the Malefice ready. Charge follows this up. No backup even remotely in the neighborhood. Easy takedown for TNC, and Jules will bite the dust.
Double damage.
I do worry a bit about Medusa, just like how the hero is going to work in the fights. Not to say I feel like Medusa is going to get completely cut and be useless, but we haven't really seen a proper fight break out where like a Leshrac and an Ember Spirit can't be dealt with by the Lion lockdown because Ember's going to have a Linken's. Leshrac will, I imagine, eventually have a BKB. When these items start coming up, it's going to be Medusa really put under pressure to actually get damage done without the support assistance. Jaru, though, is keeping up, and that's a good sign. We saw Gyrocopter earlier on the TNC side back in Game 2 where there was just so much damage that needed to be done that he couldn't do because of how much he fell behind. But so far, Cuckoo has at least kept on par with most of the cores in this game.
AU will charge himself right back towards the pit onto the big rock man. And looks like they're going to take the Roshan here, at least attempt to. Black Hole's ready. Greaves get popped nice and early. But the Weave was deployed. This could set up well for Mineski, GoDz. Dusa ult available. Roche going to drop too quickly. TNC will get the job done. And Mineski get cold feet in the end.
Yeah, just a bit too quick. And maybe at least initially a farming Aegis. Leshrac's close to the Octarine core. And everyone's kind of holding on to decent pockets of change right now on the Dire side. You've got like 4 heroes in the over about 1,500 gold. So I think what we'll see is at least the next line of items come up. Shadowblade for the Spirit Breaker, Octarine for Leshrac, and
interesting pickup.
I guess he's just too many wards scouting out his charges, so force out Sentry / Gem, and There's no other invis on the TNC side, so even if there's lots of Radiant Sentries bought because of this, it's still hurts them in the piggy bank.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I don't think there's anything that a Silver Edge will disable this game. So definitely just for the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, that's right.
Even the Mana Shields, I don't think it disables it, does it? Because it's a toggle, not a.
No, it's not a passive.
Not a
anyway.
true passive.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but that would be shocked. I feel like that would be a.
That would be
major
a really good counter to Medusa, because she generally doesn't want to build BKB either. But like you said, I'm kind of doubting. Uh-oh, Raven. That was not the remnant you were looking for, my friend. But he does have a Lincoln Sphere, not an easy kill. Also, the Aegis carrier. Bimbo really diving for this, but you could just see the Medusa so easily kited all around the map.
Yep.
And they're pushing bot. They're getting away with murder mid. Noji now poking his multicolored head out top. And finally, Mineski, they've had enough. Just straight down mid. Let's force the issue is the call.
And that's against the Aegis, but they've got their courier. They're waiting for the butterfly to come out, I imagine, and the courier respawn will be delivering it shortly.
Oh, which one is this?
Which courier?
I haven't seen this. This is like one of the shitty wizards, I guess.
Dire's middle tower.
I say that, but there's a fight breaking out here, perhaps, in the mid lane. Initiation onto Trolley. He's very tanky. Butterfly was just completed. They're holding on for now. Radiant Courier gets sniped again on the backside. AU just clobbers it with the lantern, and now the chase onto Noji. And a Lincoln Sphere on him, but it gets procced, and oh, he's going to melt. Even the Guardian Greaves not enough. Too much magic damage will end up going down here, and now it's AU's turn to run away. Charge was already used. Shadow Blade cooling down here. They slow him, and they get onto him. Bryo with the Hex, the follow-up stun, and they'll lose 2. No escape. Lanes are pushing in top and bottom, though.
I feel like the less shocked Core is just a bit greedy, not going for a BKB. He should probably have prioritized that first and gone for the Octarine Core afterwards, because it's just
he just melted to the gyro there.
Yeah.
And the finger as well.
Gyro line just bursting him down. They realize he's the big priority. I feel like he should have been taking the Aegis over the Ember Spirit as well. That was the first thing you said with Aegis #1, and completely agree. I think it still stands true now, even with this second Aegis, because Leshrac is just dishing out a lot of damage in these fights and is much squishier than the Ember Spirit.
They are chasing, though. They want to catch some heroes on the way out, but Jesse Vash very mobile here, courtesy of the drum charge. And charge comes in, just barely clipping on Ryo. Now bashing him back with another strike. They're still engaging onto this. A good quad bolt. Not enough damage just yet, though. Jesse Vash thinking about a TP out here. He gets off the grave on Cuckoo. Also looking to retreat. Is there a bash? No bash. Jesse Vash will be the man who pays. 2 supports down, but that's all. They did force out a Spirit Breaker buyback from AU.
Yep. Tier 3 tower did die, but
they still have Black Hole, though, GoDz. Do you think TNC can go here?
I think they really want to with Aegis.
Aegis a minute to go. Minute and 15 seconds, perhaps.
Both supports don't have buyback, so you can at least get some.
They are committing. The call down quickly thrown out here. It's on 3-4 heroes. Excellent hold so far for Mineski, you'd at least think, but now the Black Hole onto 2. The charge almost bashing Cuckoo out of the AoE of it, and now the back turnaround. This could be the hold for Mineski. Noji standing strong for now. Limping away is Mr. Trolley, ever so tanky. They're diving with this Aegis. He wants it to proc. He should really just sack it for the free heal, but Alliance Star missing him on the way out. Finger committed on the Lincoln Sphere. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That's a big cooldown to blow. Oh, it's level 2 only. And Raven goes in again. Gets off the chains here. Buyback available on the Gyrocopter. And does have the BKB and the cooldown soon. Maybe forced to use it, GoDz. There's the buyback. The TNC stick around. No, they want to get out.
The Gyro buyback and the Medusa in the front lines is a scary sight. Stone Gaze available and ready. It looks like, yeah, TNC will fall back. Both teams take a tier 3, but Mineski take a much bigger hit with Gyro going down, buying back as well, and it's just financially so bad for them looking at their supports, and you've got 4 heroes sitting around 15k net worth on the Dire side, and the Spirit Breaker is almost at 10k.
He's already almost as much as the 2 Mineski supports, and he's by far their least farmed hero. Hey, the Enigma Midas. It's really paid off. And look at Lucky. BKB, Blink, Greaves, and another 2,000 gold. The Refresher, do you think, is the next pickup, or what do you want here?
Maybe the Ags, just for the damage output against Medusa.
Yeah, she did not feel all that tanky in the last fight.
Yeah, I think Ags is fine. Refresher, you'll have mana problems. Like, you can't use it when you're pushing twice without... Even, I mean, I guess you refresh your Greaves so you could get double Greaves off, but You want to throw, you want to use Midnight Pulse. I think it's a very important spell to throw as far as damage output goes, and also just zoning. Like you're pushing, you put down a Midnight Pulse on top of the rack. It's really hard to engage and defend. So,
how does the double Greaves work? Can you do it right away, or does it have the same thing as Mech, where like you've got to wait until the aura wears off?
The actual heal you won't get.
But the mana you can get right away.
Yeah, you can get the mana right away.
Okay, interesting.
You just won't get the double heal.
And I guess in that case, you mostly just need the mana anyway, so. We'll see what our Enigma wants. I guess the key point is what you brought up initially, just that they have 4 heroes with that level of farm, that they have those kind of first world problems of which big, juicy item do I want today? Yeah.
And there's even some like less classical Enigma items like Shivers, which are really strong against Medusa Gyro as well. Gyro doesn't have that crazy damage, so you slow his attack speed some, and he's going to be hitting even softer.
All right, deciding game 3 here. TNC, Mineski duking it out, and TNC, definitely the lesser-known group of players from the Philippines, but looking very solid. Just the overall team play and calling has been great. Even through all the role swaps this series, GoDz, they are in pole position here in the deciding game number 3. Winner guaranteed in the money. Will advance into the final 4. Loser goes home with a straight single limb in these cups.
So we'll see what comes next. Noji picked up Boots of Travel, so still no sight of the BKB. And so much magic damage is still coming out of this Gyro, and it's a lot of burst damage that does feel like a good item to have. I don't think they have they have no Glimmer Capes as well. Like, if you chuck a Glimmer Cape on Leshrac when he's in the front lines, it would also be handy. But
he still does not have BKB, though.
Yeah.
He definitely gets it next, right? Is there any reason not to?
I mean, I'd say absolutely, but I would have said you get it before the Octarine course. So.
It kind of worked out, but it doesn't feel like it's because the Octarine. It's just, the rest of the team is playing really well around him. And I mean, it's got to be X-Lucky, MVP, in terms of these black holes, just finding 2-3 hero black holes every team fight, and now it's just easy to do.
Somehow not died the entire game as well, which is...
And they were in his jungle. They were constantly roaming supports in. Just did a nice job of finding his farm. 3,300 gold. He is getting there.
Medusa did complete a Daedalus, so looking for some damage output, and doesn't need an MKB, no evasion on the dire side, and not willing to risk the rapier just yet. But
the crit's only on the main target, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, crit's only on the main target.
Makes it's one of the things that makes it not really the best item for Medusa.
Yeah. You do want, you need that kind of single target damage at some point to deal with a Lesh or an Ember Spirit, but...
Hey, I guess Medusa, 2,200 health, 12 armor. She's getting pretty beefy.
And they actually walk into Roshan as it respawns. They did have the vision there because of this Hellbear, but this was a very fast respawn, and TNC are just not in position to contest this.
Mineski getting away with murder here, perhaps. Nobody's in the neighborhood. This is just a freebie, it
Dire
seems.
Vision is just... I don't know. It's gone to the wasteland. They don't have anything.
A bold move by Mineski, just basically rolling the dice that the Roche will respawn, and everything coming up aces right now. They get Aegis, they get Cheese. Big grab. You got to take those risks when you're down 25k, huh?
Yeah. So there were a couple dire wards deep towards the top side of the map, but around when Roches respawn, you definitely want vision around that area, and the Radiant Jungle, I feel, is a key place to be warding as well.
Jules not having an easy time this game. Does get caught by the chains here. Tries to Glimmer Cape his way to safety, but AU commits to this. He dives even further on him. Great grave! Holding him alive for now, but can Jules really make it out? Everybody reinforcing. He ticks down in the end to the Shadow Strike. They did get off the stun here on AU on the way out, trying to retreat. That heavy damage from Jules, not quite, or rather Jay, not quite enough. He will make it out. And OG, I feel like this guy has spent more time on his own than anyone else this game. Just farming, pushing bottom. Yep. He's living the PvE dream. This is like some Diablo 3 stuff going on right now.
Gets a Ghost Scepter, so not a bad item by any means against the Medusa, who's starting to hit really hard, but...
The Ethereal Blade, Leshrac Dream. Hey, versus 2 physical damage dealers? No Diffusal Blade?
Not bad.
Is this an E-Blade game? Oh, Courier? Ah, he almost had it.
I think eventually you definitely look to upgrade this.
I mean, the way he's itemizing, it's like he's like, I am not getting a BKB.
Yeah.
So maybe he does even just get an E-Blade Dagon 5 or something clowny like that. Yeah, Ghost Scepter, a pretty good standalone item, it seems, this game.
At some point, you probably want a Hex just to lock down the Medusa. And Queen of Pain may be the more logical candidate than the Leshrac, and Queen of Pain is actually very fun. Picks up the Ultimate Orb now from the side shop, so it does look like Hex will come next. But I'm getting more than one Hex, not a bad idea if Noji wants to get one as well.
Yeah, they already have the 1 Lincolns on the Ember. Not sure they really want to go for a second one here. So
for TNC, I think they're going to just kind of farm and wait out the Aegis to expire. At the same time, I don't think they're like going to wait it out and then say, okay, now let's go for a high ground push. They do need a pick-off or two, it feels like. Even just picking off supports. Taking out the Lion just gives your core so much freedom to just engage into a fight and not worry about getting locked down, and if you're like an Ember Spirit, getting prevented from using a Fire Remnant to escape or whatever it may be.
Speaking of the Ember Spirit, I mean, you look at his damage output now. Completed Daedalus, 2,500 gold, and top lane, action breaking out. AU, he baits out the Medusa ultimate, and then just turns and looks to walk away. Then Shadow Blades, forcing out a big cooldown, and Raven's here to try and catch them on the rear. He could just grab Mr. Trolley. He will get the chains out, but it's only on Jules. Maybe the easier target, Glimmered, and will retreat safely. They are fighting around the Medusa. They do not really want to engage head on into this 25k net worth behemoth.
They need detection. No Dire Hero actually has detection for dealing with
that Glimmer Cape has almost saved his life twice now, and does save his life this time. But they're still chasing. On to Jules. Glimmer Cape available. Gets the Grave off. Great defensive plays this time again. But Noji gets forced back a bit. They throw out the Yule Scepter. Don't really want to fight into him while he's got the Aegis, though. Noji now using the Ghost Scepter to retreat even further back. And on the other side of the map, it is Raven. Just split pushing. Ratting for all he's worth. Ryo finds the Hex. X-Lucky, though, still BKB. Black Hole available. Ryo in so far. And the team is like, no, dude, you're on your own.
That's a gem loss, too.
Oh, boy. Oh, you said they needed detection. Now they get it free of charge. That's one way to do it. Did they grab it?
Not yet. No, it's just sitting in the jungle.
Yeah, just Ember Spirit things right now on the bottom side of the map. Split pushing Jules. This Glimmer tries to hang on here, but the base begins to be more and more under siege. They've also taken down the mid-tier 3 tower. More Sleight of Fist. Now a jump back or retreat to the safety of his remnant.
They're just ratting him out.
4K. They are ratting. This is the Medusa counter, I guess. Just never fight as 5.
Seer does not move from lane to lane particularly efficiently. And
is there anything that you see Mineski being able to do to alleviate that?
And in terms of Medusa, not really.
I remember a game I cast with Period Flax, which was like a pretty low-level game, and Medusa had no boots, and they just got like 3 force stabs and just were pushing the Medusa around. It was like they had a shovel basically to guide him.
They're the limousine service in some ways.
Exactly.
I think Bimbo needs his boots as much as he'd love to just be able to death ball down the mid lane with a rapier, Aegis, whatever. But
get that Mask of Madness instead of the Satanic.
Well,
I guess it doesn't give you as much move speed as it used to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's selling it now, but something maybe
bought it like 2 minutes ago. Alright, I've already got my use out of this item. There's the Enigma Refresher. So, mana-wise has about enough. I mean, it's like a bit 1125 mana to use 2 black holes.
Yeah, and he has the double greaves, so he at least gets.
You throw in 2 Midnight Pulses. You still have mana even for 2 Midnight Pulses. Even I mean, you want to use Malefice as well. That's all your spells. Conversion you probably stop using at this point, but everything else is.
Of course, it pairs great with the BKB as well. You've got the permanent magic immunity. There's a charge onto Cuckoo. He's in fairly deep here. Has the Darkseer behind him. Darkseer surged himself. This is going to allow them to initially catch Cuckoo, and then they followed up with the charge. Where's the gem? Where's the detection? Did they never pick it up?
No.
Is the gem still
up?
No, it's gone. Someone picked it up.
I think the Radiant Courier may have snagged it again. Not sure. We'll try to take a look here, though. Maybe it's on the Dire Courier. Oh, it's on the Dire Courier.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody carried the damn thing.
Spirit Breaker, you got Spaceman.
I mean, this Glimmer Cape is really paid for itself at this point.
Yeah, that's getting a bit silly. Like it's one thing when it happens like the first time, you're like, okay, now let's counter, but it's happened like 4 or 5 times now.
I feel like Jules should have like 3 or 4 extra deaths. And there it even saves a more important hero. Still though, I mean, I just my eyes keep on being drawn to the net worth graph, or chart rather. This is an ugly sight. 4 of the top 5 are dire, and it's not like they're barely there, they are just massively ahead.
All in on Medusa at this point.
Running out of item slots.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like it's never been like, okay, Medusa just needs 1 more item and then they'll go do this and win the game or go win a team fight. It's very much like, okay, Medusa's getting another item, but TNC's getting another item on 4 heroes while Medusa gets another item. Hey,
you chasing. Jesse Vesh got off the ward, but no escape for him. Nether strike and done. Easy takedown.
I think he knows it's up there too. He's pinging it. They need Weave to get. Well, Weave's on the other side. I don't know.
This cow needs to work on his vertical. Can't quite make it up.
And outside of what, a flying Curie, I don't think they have any way of getting it.
I was gonna blink Hex. He's stuck around a while. Ayumanda Pain. He's the gem terror. They will get it back, and they even protect that.
That's why there's like tilt plays where it's like, it's warded up here. We got to deward this, and then you're like standing by it, and you're just like, well, it's warded there, but you have 0 way of getting vision. So. And the rest of your team would be like, we're not dewarding that, so.
And then you just get mad that they're not coming to assist.
They don't be frustrating.
Do they have any vision skills up the hill? I guess like a remnant, but that's really about it.
Oh yeah, fire remnant actually could have worked. But
normally you don't think, oh, I should use that fire remnant so I can deward.
I don't even think he was there as well.
No, he wasn't. He was bottom. He smoked the Enigma. Could respawn soon. It will be. He's invis right now. Detection, non-existent. Well, that's some massive damage anyway, but he'll make it out.
Ooh. It was a Hex build on Noji on the Lesh track, so it looks like both Quap and Lesh will both get Hex.
Okay. Double refresher sounds pretty damn strong for this team now with the double Quap ult, the double Hexes on both.
Oh, yeah. And it's still just the same story where there's 4 late game scary farming heroes on TNC. 4 heroes with 20k net worth on the dire side, 2 on the Radiant.
In Trolly we trust, says Mineski.
How do you even, at this point, like, what's the upgrades from Medusa? The Moonshard that you can eat? I mean, you got the 1 item slot, which I guess can be a Rapier, but I'm not sure what else is really an item to go there.
Mineski just hanging back. They are going to smoke. Fortunately, they might sneak Ro8 again. There is an observer ward. Are they going for the Ro8? No, they're wrapping on mid. It looks like they're angling for a fight.
There's a remnant that's going to scout it too, but Jules scouts it. They're going to get another Ro8. This is double cheese, Aegis. Even with the remnant seeing them, I don't think they're going to get... TNC can't get here in time to stop this.
Trolley is good single target damage. Are they even going to rotate?
I don't think you fight into the DD Medusa in the pit.
That's pretty... It does sound suicidal when you put it that way. No, they're going. They are going. Ro8 is already dead. Remnant, no! Does he get it? Blink! Black Hole is there! Catches out too, but it does get canceled by the Stone Gaze, and X-Lucky gonna die before he's able to get off the secondary Black Hole. Aegis was picked up by the Medusa. The Cheese still on the floor. AU charging all the way up onto Jules. He's trapped on the high ground, but he's already unloaded the wall. Can they really kill off Trolley? He's so damn tanky. He's still got a little bit of mono left and full HP. It's a triple kill for him. Second life available. Satanic available. 3 are going to melt here and holds on to that second life. Cheese was picked up by Ryo in the chaos. And the split push. Pretty non-existent here. Raven just poking a tower once or twice.
He pulled back just to kind of force some TP's top, which is not really going to help out all that much. But
and that, GoDz, is a 10,000 gold swing, roughly.
And what's Medusa going to get? Has a Void Stone. Scythe of Vice going to come up as Medusa's 6/7th item. I guess with the Aegis there, you can't really carry this too easily.
And completed Hexes out, and Gyrocopter with the Demon Edge now. Upgraded BOTs also picked up.
And that's been the important
Mineski, they were down 30,000 gold in experience, and they still win the fight. And I mean, looking back at it, should they have just not gone for the Ro8?
Yeah, it looked great with the black hole, but the preemptive stone gaze meant they had a cancel coming, and then the Enigma died during the stone gaze, so there wasn't a second black hole as well. So didn't get a chance to use black hole second time. Actually got to pop the refresher, but the physical damage was too much. Like, you get a second BKB, but you can't use a second Guiding Greaves to heal up again. You almost need to see. I think Enigma could just get a value Ghost Scepter at this stage, just for like a scenario like that. If you have a Ghost Scepter and Enigma, I think you maybe get that second black hole off.
They begin the siege now. Satanic getting dropped.
Swapping items.
Courier holding it. HP was not really his issue in the last fight, so he'd rather have the lockdown.
In some ways, bigger mana pool. It is kind of HP as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good point. They get the Midnight Pulse out, though. But he just marches up the high ground. Quapple will delete the wave, but not the heroes. Those are fine. AU charges in, committing onto Trolley. As the Stone Gaze. Doesn't want to use it too early here. Gets another struck back a bit. From the low ground, the Lion Stone comes through, and this Medusa just stands strong. Almost finish off AU off the bat. Rocket. Oh, he needs to let this hit him before the BKB wears off, but he keeps it running back towards the wall. May actually get him killed in the end. Oh, will be finished off by the Queen of Pain, but that's a lot of commitment just for a homing missile, while elsewhere, a huge flurry of spells chucked out. The tower now dropping rapidly. Still the Aegis being held by Trolley. He's finally lost all his mana. They have a black hole. They really want to reserve it for the second Medusa life. Can they finish her off? No, the Grave keeping him alive. Is he going to be able to give himself that Satanic and heal back up? He makes it back. The Courier's being micro now, and it seems GoDz. No, free cheese. Doesn't even need the Satanic.
They've got double cheese, I think.
And back in they go. Ryo engaging, gets the stun. Noji now back towards the rest of the team. Where AU's engaged. They get off the Medusa ultimate, and now Noji, as the Ghost Scepter begins to wear off, will quickly drop to auto attack damage elsewhere in the fight. Queen of Pain fishing for an opening. Black hole committed, but he's still got the Aegis, and he's at full HP. He's not even taking damage through this. This Medusa can't be stopped. Noji down. Trolley pushing in. Unstoppable indeed. AU somehow, well, he's in the trees. Slowly working on Jules. We'll finish him off. The gyrocopter hanging on. The Courier gets killed of absolute madness here. But Cuckoo heals up. He pops his own cheese along with the Satanic. Instant full HP. And still the Medusa's got her second life at the ready.
There's another
Has
hole.
the Satanic. Second hole. It is available now. Refresher cooldown. This could be the turn. Look for the opening, but everybody dropping low. Trolley's still very healthy. Black hole again. And this time he's going to melt. I don't even think he had the mana shield activated there. It looks like it wasn't on GoDz, and that may have cost him his life. And now, Medusa buying back. Gyro, I believe that was a dieback for him. This could be a complete turn of events. Doesn't have a buyback for a long time here. 3 minutes. Medusa, though, rejoining the fray. Can they possibly chip him down? He's just a beefcake.
I mean, Lesh can kind of do a lot of damage. I guess they can't. It's chip him down, and the problem is he's got Satanic, so he'll heal back any chip damage.
S blinking in very far, and Trolley just laying into him. There's the Finger of Death, level 3 now. And AU charges forward. If they can kill off Trolley, that's the game. It's all in on the Medusa. She's got the ultimate in 2 seconds. Now out of mana. Oh, Trolley, he needed it. He does Satanic Grave. Hangs on. Give this man 200 mana. Somebody give it to him. Guardian Greaves, not enough. It's a dieback on Jay, and that's most likely it. Mineski getting farmed up in the shadow of their own base. A triple for Noji. Madness on Mineski's side, but no creeps in the base. It'll be X-Lucky auto-attacking buildings. Just very, very back and forth series of events, but
it
like
looked
TNC
like they
got
had
it.
a way. Like, pushing the top lane, it just looked like they had a way. They weren't even the best black holes, but just 2 solo black holes on the Medusa in a row, practically. The second one was the Medusa only left alive. The first one only caught the Medusa when there was 4 or 5 alive, but that's all TNC needed was the lockdown. During the first black hole, heroes like Leshrac, Quap, Ember were just killing the back lines, and during the second one, it was like, okay, now let's actually kill the Medusa.
And he didn't have his mana shield toggled on.
Yeah.
I think he might have panic double toggled it. I'm not sure.
He was still like 1v5 or 1v4, so probably dies regardless, but
man,
yeah,
he's so squishy without it, though. He really melted.
Oh, yeah.
And the Deso pickup. X-Lucky. Love it. Eye on the prize. TNC going to upset the favorites here, it looks like. Mineski, no Dusa for 50. The road ends now. They are eliminated first from ESL yesterday, and today eliminated from the BTS series. A tough couple of breaks for them, but TNC showing they are a team to keep an eye on from SCA GoDz is Cuckoo. He'll do what he can now, but it's It's all futile in the end. Mineski are going home, and TNC in the money. Guaranteed top 4 here in our first SEA Cup.
That was a tense game. You know, it's one of those things where you're watching the gold graph keep on dipping, gets down to like 30k gold lead, but they never seemed to have a way to kill Medusa. Medusa was deathless until like 53, 54 minutes in this game, where she died twice, but... Well, both those last 2 deaths were the last 2 minutes of that game. So that Medusa was unkillable, was pushing racks, and you're thinking, huh, Mineski, they may be down 20k, 25k gold, but they may actually just be able to win this by brute force from the Medusa, but
with this win, Mineski eliminated TNC into the top 4. They'll either face Fnatic or Signature Trust. Oh, back and forth, and I believe that makes them the lone Pinoy hope here in the Cup. Everyone else has been eliminated, so... All eyes for the Filipino fans will be on TNC. Let's see if they can carry the flag. Any closing thoughts here on the series, guys, before we wrap it up?
I mean, Mineski, it's just all about consistency. I think Jules especially had a rough day in the off lane. Game 1's Clockwork was just... Ooh.
That was at first you were like, yeah, he's getting his levels, and then there was like 4 extra deaths. That was like, that's you don't need your levels anymore.
He was 0 and 3, but hit like level 6. So I was like, okay, he's level 6. Darks is level 3.
This is good.
Like this is okay. Like you're 0-3, Darks is 0-0, but like to me that's... I would rather be the Clockwork in that position. As much as like feeding the enemy carry is bad, but then he just kept going to the offlane and dying some more. This game on the Darks here, he didn't really find his openings.
He had some good glimmer capes.
Yeah, well, I mean, was that good glimmer capes or bad from TNC not having detection? I don't know, but
combination maybe.
TNC strategically just seemed to be the more coordinated team, and it's good to see like the strategy kind of prevailing over like the individual star power necessarily.
Yeah, I agree. I like the fact that they feel like they're a team all the time. Whereas Mineski, especially game 1, they were late, so maybe they were a little tilted, but that was not a team. That was 5 individuals. So, all right, guys, that's gonna wrap up the series. The only match we have here for today, but we'll be back tomorrow. I think we've got 2 best of 3s tomorrow, so more SEA Dota coming your way. I'm LD. He's GoDz. You can follow him on Twitter at BTS GoDz. Myself at LD Dota. For now, the David signing off.